is a flame foundation course. This takes you through bit by bit how this all works, how this consciousness begins to move through your life and change things for you so quickly. And we release the need for spiritual dependency. We release all of the betrayals and the issues and the problems that other people project upon us as well. And through these videos, I just get called every day to create a video about something that you may possibly be going through, because most of the time I've also been through it as well. This alleviates this distance from each other and shows you that as you're learning and growing and shifting and the flame is moving through your life and removing challenges and removing obstacles, there are some times that we have this backlash from others. And I wanted to explain a little bit about the Blueprint Hijack today and what that can look like, what that can mean, okay? And yeah, we will go deeper and deeper and deeper over time into different psychological things that can happen and how you begin to change the moment that you accept your original flame. As soon as you accept this, it begins to grow. It begins to move through your life and burn down the things that are no longer serving. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that will be threatened by your newfound confidence, by your strength, by your knowledge, the things that you're changing about yourself, the way that you're moving forward, the way that you're lifting, the way that your boundaries are super clear, right? There are some people that are just like, what is going on? And how can I disrupt this? So I am going to take you through this today. And we will also very, very, very deeply, really, I'll show you this new shielding. I have a whole ton of them, but it's really important that you make sure that you say right now, flame on. This creates your firewall around you and your mirror flame around the outside of this. We reinforce this, we expand this, okay? And then we also have a sapphire starlight flame around our physical being to regenerate as we release, to keep us strong as we get all of this momentum happening, etc. And to help you to please stand your ground, okay? Stand your ground. We don't have to soften who we are to make it more palatable for others who can't understand how they're losing control over you, right? They want you just how you are. So I'm going to explain some of this as we move forward. But first, I'm going to make sure that there's no interruptions with ads here. So I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, so, right, we've got our flame on, we're ready to go. So I've made this lesson. I'm so glad now that you can just talk into Google Talk and it starts typing stuff up for you. And you can also throw stuff into your, Grok and things like that, AI engines. And they write it all up for you. No mistakes, right? So, this is the Blueprint Hijack, the palatability trap. Okay, so just sit back and relax and see where this sits with you. So this is the reason why so many powerful people can feel their calling. Okay, they're talented, they're gifted, they can feel what they need to do, but they never fully embody this, is because it's a palatability trap. Okay, what does that mean? Most people are not blocked by a lack of talent, right? They're blocked by a lifetime of conditioning that says your truth is only allowed if it's easy for other people to digest. Okay, this is a conditioning. Your truth is only allowed if it's easy for others to digest. Okay? So when you begin to speak with clarity, when you stop performing and being all soft, and when you stop packaging everything with apology, something activates in the field. When you start having strong boundaries, people become quite agitated by this. When you start to know your worth, people are like, well, what am I going to do now to tear this person down? Right? And again, I will always use examples of myself to help you to understand that you're not crazy. These things happen to us, okay? People who still live inside of old power dynamics will often respond in the same predictable way. They won't come for the actual message that you're giving. They're coming towards your energy for your tone, okay? For your tolerance. They'll say that you're doing too much. They'll say that, even for me, they say that I'm a little bit too tough, a little bit stern, right? Too intense, perhaps. Or maybe they're saying that it's negative, or that you're negative, or you're not loving enough, or that you've got all of this negativity around you, and they're reading that. Why? Why does this happen? Because it's like the tone police are out, right? It's one of the oldest tools of control. So what we're fighting is not just you emerging to who you really, really are. We're fighting the old ways of manipulation at the same time. And things that you've found yourself involved in because you didn't want to upset anybody, or you didn't want to say what you really meant because you knew it would cause all of this, right? Which is manipulation in itself from the other people towards you. So the oldest tool of control is tone policing. It's not about you being wrong. It's about people try to set the rules for how they see you. Okay? How they see you. And here's the deeper truth about this. When someone can't regulate themselves in the presence of your clarity, they often attempt to regulate you, to make it easier for them to understand, to make it easier for them to control you, right? They want you to lower the volume of your truth. Not because truth is harmful, but because truth is uncomfortable to the part of them that still survives through control, through projection, hierarchy, or dependency. Okay? So let this land where it lands. A real spiritual path does not require you to be palatable, to coddle, to make someone feel better at your own expense, okay? To keep your mouth shut when you really do need to say something. And it requires you to be a little bit more precise, that's all, okay? Your original blueprint was not designed to be approved by everybody. That's the thing. It was designed to be authentic, and authenticity always disturbs the old agreements, right? If your truth requires you to shrink in order to be accepted, it's not acceptance, it's negotiation. An original flame doesn't negotiate. Now, I'm not saying that what we should do is just go out and tell everybody they're wrong and, just make a big fuss. No. Someone comes towards you You're doing nothing. You haven't, whatever. You haven't done anything, right? And they're like, I don't like this and I don't like that and you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that and you're just using this as that and you're just doing this and that and you used to be different and all that, right? They are afraid of your confidence, of your clarity, of your strength. They can't regulate you, they can't control you, and they want you to feel bad about how strong you're becoming, and they're hoping that you will go back down to where you used to be controllable. Now, in that case, when someone comes towards you, that is a boundary cross. That is not allowed to happen. So you can, if you want to, finish it off with, I require respect, or, this is not going to work on me, or whatever situation, that you're putting a stop to the trying to lower you and control you. You see, that's the thing. What I do is nothing anymore. Everything that I do is, if someone comes at me, right, well, you're not doing this and you're doing that and you're just doing this and you're doing whatever, right? Block. Goodbye. I'm not even wasting my time anymore. I have given so many people chances over all of these years where I'd just be like, okay, let me explain to you what I was trying to do. Okay, I'm really sorry you feel that way, but that's not how it is, and here's what I was trying to do. Like, I have tried to explain or make it softer, or just make it like where they were going wrong and say, no, that's not what was happening here, I'm sorry you feel that way. There's no more of that, right? There's like, if someone comes in an attacking manner, that's what they want to do. They want to attack you. They want to hurt you. Now, if your answer to someone's attack is like, no, you need to go within, or no, I'm not putting up with this anymore, why are you the villain? You're actually not, okay? You're actually just keeping your boundaries firm, and you're not taking any more nonsense. And it takes a while for people to get to recognize this, but they eventually do and won't do that stuff anymore, right? So if your truth requires you to shrink in order to be accepted, it's not acceptance, it's negotiation. Once again, you lower your vibe, you're lowering your energy, you're giving in to somebody else's demands, okay? And the original flame, there is no negotiation. It creates within you a way in which you can forge ahead clearly, okay, and lovingly in your new way, in a confident and strong way, right? This means that it will be up to us as things come forward and issues happen and life carries on or whatever, that we remember that we have a few things that we can do to change this trajectory, right, as well. And we can't live our life wanting to be liked and accepted. I mean, I know that nobody likes to be hated, of course, right? But if it means that you have to try to prove yourself all the time, hang on, I'm not like that. Listen, I'm different. Listen, if you have to prove yourself, you're shrinking every single time, right? And that is not going to get you to where you really want to go. Again, I'm just saying, if someone is attacking you, you do have the right to shut that down, right? If someone doesn't like your answer, too bad. See, you're not going out of your way to make comments on someone else's videos that are tearing them down, right? I don't know why, but some people do that on mine, and they get gone. Doesn't matter how long they've been there for either. So, the 3 invisible contracts that pull people off their blueprints, right? So let's go here. When people talk about healing, they usually talk about feelings, trauma, inner child stuff, shadow work. All of that is useful. But there's something even more foundational. the contracts. Invisible agreements you didn't sign on paper, but you signed through repetition. See? I'm going to just say that again. Invisible agreements that you didn't sign on paper, but you signed through repetition, through family dynamics, through religion, through school, through relationships, and through the spiritual community itself. And as you enter your original flame blueprint, these contracts will surface because they are the exact mechanisms that kept you small, that kept pain in your body, that kept you struggling. Okay? Contract 1, the approval contract. This contract says, I will be myself as long as I'm liked. See? I will speak truth as long as it doesn't cost me anything. I will shine as long as it doesn't threaten anybody. This contract turns your voice into performance. And you start scanning the room before you speak. You start editing the truth before you post. You start cushioning every sentence so no one can accuse you of being too much, too intense. Oh, you just, what's wrong with you? And the cost is brutal because you begin to abandon the part of you that was actually born to lead. Approval is a drug because it temporarily resolves anxiety. But your blueprint isn't here to manage anxiety. It's here to deliver truth. So the moment you find yourself asking, will they like this? Replace it with, is this truth? Contract 2, the access contract. Just make sure this is up. This contract says, I owe people access to prove I'm loving. This is a huge one, especially for sensitive, gifted, service-minded or service-oriented people. You respond when you don't want to. You explain when you don't need to. This is what I'm talking about. Someone attacks you and you try to explain like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. You keep doors open because closing them makes you feel mean. Nobody likes to close anything off, do they? It's a yucky feeling. But access is not love. Some people are absolutely trying to drive you crazy. They are absolutely twisting everything. They are trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to get you to react negatively so they can point the finger and say, see, it was you, right? Someone can only feel loved when they reach into your field whenever they want. That's not love, that's entitlement. It's making you feel that unless you are a certain way, unless you let everybody do what they want, unless you stand down, okay, that you're not good enough, or that there's something wrong with you, or you're going off of the rails, or you used to be like this. And this contract is often disguised as support, sisterhood, or brotherhood, or we're connected, or we're friends, or spiritual openness. But it's actually a boundary violation wearing a mask. A mask. Your blueprint requires a gate. Not everybody is going to get a key to this gate. The rescue contract is contract 3. And this one says, if someone feels bad, it must be my job, or it must be my job to fix it. And this one keeps people trapped in energetic labor. Oh, someone's upset. I've got a quick, oh, no, I didn't mean that. Oh, I better fix it. Oh gosh, they're, really angry at me. How can I do something different, right? No. You're becoming responsible for reactions that aren't even yours, right? You start managing other people's emotions. You begin to believe that if someone's triggered, you must soften, you must apologize, you must educate, convince, heal, adjust, fix it somehow. And what happens? You become the caretaker of everyone else's nervous system while your own collapses. And for most of this, these people that do this to you, where you're like constantly like trying to fix it and help them and whatever, they're going to find something else to do it as well. So it'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. And what you have to realize sometimes is that, people just never really liked you, and liked only having access to you for whatever little agenda that they're playing. Right? That's what really happens, and people don't want to say that, but that's what really happens. Not everybody is like you and is, caring in that way and regulating. They're just reacting all of the time. So you don't have to be the caretaker of everyone else's nervous system to be a good person, or to fix everything to be a good person, or else you're bad. That is an old program. It's an old thing. These were never yours to carry. What anyone else is doing or saying or connecting with or being nasty about, it's never any of our business. We just shut down what we do not accept into our boundary gateway. So the original flame says, I can hold compassion without taking responsibility for your behavior or for your response. Now, when you don't respond, or you just say, something very quickly, it's how they react to that that tells you who they are. When they're given a no, wow, okay. So how they'll know that how you will know that you're leaving the blueprint. These are 7 signs to show you where you might be just going off track a little bit. These are markers. They're like check engine lights, right? So the moment you recognize, you can just stop that drift. Okay, now I do want to say that I recognize that we've all got our own life situations. We've all got things that we do habitually. There are things that we're trying to improve on. This is not about making you, just listen to this and you're going to be perfect. But it gives you some things that as something comes up, it will look like, okay, this is an alarm bell. Am I doing this again? Kind of thing. So the fog, okay, is number 1. You leave an interaction feeling unclear. You can't even explain why you feel off. That's because manipulation often works through confusion. Confusion makes you easier to steer. The performing softness. You catch yourself being nice in a way that isn't honest. You're not being kind, you're being compliant. Softness becomes a costume. So you got to watch for these things. These are little signs, okay? 3, over-explaining. You start explaining simple truths to someone who isn't actually listening. They're not listening to what you're saying. Over-explaining is a sign that you've moved into a proving mode. The dogs are howling out there. So when someone says something ridiculous to you and you're like, that's not what I meant, you start to pedal back into something because you don't want them to go talking about you or something or whatever. And it makes you annoyed with yourself when you do those sorts of things. So these are just things to notice. 4, the responsibility feeling. So you feel like you caused their reaction. You feel guilty for their discomfort. This is how the rescue contract keeps you locked. Again, you're going into fix-it mode. The pre-posting anxiety or pre-speech or whatever it is. Right before you share something true, your body tightens up. Not because it's wrong, but because your system remembers what happens when you're fully seen, or the last time you tried to say something, right? Your system goes into like, are we going to do this? Remember what happened last time, right? The number 6 is the prove that you're good urge, right? You want to show things. You want to show or prove or whatever. You want to clarify your intent. You want to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. Unfortunately, what we have to understand, and I've said this for so many years, is that you could be a big fat piece of chocolate, right? And there's going to be someone who doesn't like chocolate. It doesn't matter how awesome you are, how loving you are, how giving you are, how kind you are, how supportive you are. If someone doesn't like you, they don't like you. It's not something that you can do better. It's not even about you. Something inside of them is triggered when they see you in your confidence, in your clarity, in your strength, and they try to tear it down on an emotional level. So it's nothing to do with you. How someone else is reacting has nothing to actually do with you. And it's something that everybody has to learn to heal. Some people won't, unfortunately, right? So, the 7th sign is the body close. Your chest tightens, your body hardens, your throat locks. And this is when your body closes, when your blueprint is being compromised, right? Your body is not a nuisance. It is an instrument of sovereignty. So now what we need to do is we have an understanding of the steps that we're taking to move into our original blueprint, where there is no coddling. It's not about outrightly being nasty, because we don't like that ourselves, obviously. Someone who's just nasty for no reason. It's not that, but it's that you just shut down any interference with what it is that you know, with your integrity, that you're really trying to do. You know, trying to help people, okay, and being here because no one was really there in my own life is something that I strive for. To be able to show you how to live confidently and not live with anxiety. To be able to show you that other people's viewpoints, you don't have to own them, okay? That you're powerful on your own, in your own energy. Your original blueprint is powerful. That you have all of the information within you. It's not outside of you, okay? Things that are going to be said to help you to grow. That's my biggest mission here. It's helping people to step out of the old, unhealed version of themselves and into a powerful one. And unfortunately, when you become very confident and you become straight to the point and you become moving forward, people will try to pull you backwards. Unfortunately, it happens to everybody. That doesn't mean that something's going wrong, though. It actually proves that you're in the right energy for yourself, because others are so just bothered by the lack of control they have over you anymore. See? Who's wrong? Somebody who's trying to move forward, focus on goodness, help others, or someone who's trying to tear people down all of the time because they can't do it themselves or they feel like they can't. Right. So here's a protocol that returns you to your original design quickly, especially after comments or conflict or projection or any situation where you feel pulled. It's not about fighting energy, it's about reclaiming ownership of your field. Again, we can't really worry about what other people are going to do or how they respond. It's really none of our business unless they come into your face, in which case you can see them, the mask is off, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. So, step 1, returning to the body. Because manipulation targets the nervous system first. So you put one hand on your chest and one on your lower belly, or where you feel comfortable. And slow down. And just make your exhale longer than the inhale. I return to my center. Breathe in. I return to my body. Breathe out. I return to my original signal. Now, imagine your energy gathering back to you, like light folding in. No drama, no battle, just return, right? Step 2, reclaim the voice. The voice is a gateway of the blueprints. When you weaken your voice, you weaken your timeline. So you say, my voice is a sovereign instrument. My truth does not require permission. I will not dilute truth to be tolerated. Again, I am not saying that everyone go out and say, well, this is my truth and you're this and you're that and being nasty. That's just someone's reaction, right? So, your truth is your truth. Your sovereignty is your inner power, right? Your command over energy. Your original flame burns, it burns bright. The blueprint is right there. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to prove what you're doing to anybody. You just need, the proof is actually in you. The proof is in your movement. The proof is in the way you speak, the way you share your energy. That's the proof of who you are. So feel those words in your throat and your chest. Your voice is not here, unfortunately, to be liked. It's here to activate remembrance, right? Some people activate in the wrong way. That's okay. So some people, when you do invoke your boundary, they will try to attack by using hierarchy, right? That they're the one, or they're this, or they're that, or that they're higher than you anyway, so whatever. So you just got to revoke those agreements, okay? Revoke the contracts. So you're saying to yourself, I revoke the contract of approval. I revoke the contract of access. I revoke the contract of rescue. And then I do not negotiate my blueprint. I do not bargain with guilt. I do not obey pressure. And finally, only respect reaches me. Only truth stays with me. Only alignment walks with me, right? And we seal the field. We visualize a 3-layer shield this time. The inner layer of golden warm light. So for this shielding exercise, we're keeping our firewall on, right? But we're adding this. So an inner layer of warm golden light, which gives us nourishment. A middle layer of mirrored obsidian, okay? So, which is a reflection of distortion. So obsidian, which is a nice volcanic, sort of a glassy, soft. This is a detangling crystal as well. Obsidian detangles, okay? Reflection of distortion. The outer layer is white fire lattice. White fire lattice, okay? Which is a truth gate. So we say, my field is sealed. Distortion reflects, dissolves, and returns as lessons. I remain untouched. There's so many layers that someone has to get through. It's not aggression. You're doing this for yourself. It is sacred law. Now, here's what I want you to remember, because this can change your life, this one line. If it requires you to shrink, it's not your blueprint. If it requires you to shrink, it's not your blueprint. If it requires you to shrink, it's not your blueprint. If you have to abandon yourself to keep the peace, it's not peace. If you have to mute your truth to keep belonging, it's not belonging. It's conforming. If you have to perform softness to avoid backlash, it's not love. It's control. Your blueprint is the place your body stays open. Your blueprint is the place your voice stays clean. And your blueprint is the place where your nervous system can breathe, repair, restore. And yes, people will call this too much, it's too intense, you've changed, all because they want you to shrink, all because they want you to stop. You're not controllable when you're in your power, are you? No one can tell you or make you feel bad, and that's a position that you actually want to be in, because it strengthens you to the core of your being. It's what you want. You personally want. Everybody wants to be strong, not overbearing and all that sort of stuff. Not strong in a weak way, okay? But everyone wants to be able to be strong. And people will call your truth, like I said, too much or too intense. But what they really mean is it's too much for the part of me that survives by controlling you. Let them have that discomfort. They could also have this proper strength as well. But let them have that discomfort. Your job is not to shrink so others don't feel challenged. It's to become so consistent in your signal that only what's aligned can remain. The rest has to burn. It's just has to go. Okay? Meaning it has to dissolve. Again, it's of your choosing, as with everything is. So, here's a little bit of a declaration. And you can put your hand over your heart for this. I choose my original flame. I choose my original design. I release every contract that required me to shrink for love. I release every timeline where I abandon myself to be accepted. I'm allowed to be clear. I'm allowed to be direct. I'm allowed to be seen. I do not owe access to those who misuse it. I do not owe softness to those who weaponize it. I do not owe explanation to those committed to misunderstanding me. See? My blueprint is safe in my body. My voice is protected. My path is sealed. I walk forward as original flame. We leave the shrinking timeline and we enter the original one. Again, all that I'm giving is because I want to see people feel that they are not stressed anymore. Because no matter what happens with you, no matter who projects their BS at you, no matter who's trying to pull you off, you are able to completely center yourself as a way of restoring your original blueprint. And when we restore and respect our original blueprint, bigger and better things are already becoming attracted towards us. And yes, there will be points in our life where people will have a go at us. And I see those things as when someone is doing all their nonsense or whatever, I see that as my flame saying to me, Becky, are you going to give in to this nonsense? Are you going to doubt yourself? Are you going to worry what this person's going to say about you? Or are you going to just get rid of it without explanation, right? And it's not a matter of people can't ask questions. That's not what the matter is, or people can't share or whatever, right? But it's the matter of the nastiness or the insinuations or the backhanded stuff or the passive aggressive stuff where people think that you're too stupid to work out what that is and how it might have been a pattern with this person or whatever. And the original blueprint says there is nothing about your original flame that has to put up with other people's abuse just because you're moving forward and you're becoming stronger every single day. So sometimes you're going to get that little boundary test or whatever. You're going to get that little niggle, you're going to get that little interference. Someone misunderstands you. Someone starts calling you names, projecting on you, or getting angry with you. Whatever it is, it's all about whether you are remaining steady or you're starting to scatter again. Because we know what happens when life is scattered, right? So it's all about maintaining firm control, refocus, recenter. And it doesn't matter if you actually go off a little bit every now and then or whatever, or you do get annoyed about something, as long as it comes back to the center where you want to be. So let's do a mirror crown shield. This is going to be fun. This stops other people's emotions from becoming your assignment, and it returns your field to its original blueprints. So let's claim the crown gate first. So for 10 seconds, we place fingertips lightly on the top of your head, or you can hover above, okay? But you say, I seal the crown gate. My channel belongs to my soul. So a soft gold seal clicks into your place, into place above your head, like a luminous crown disc, clicking it into place. Okay, we build a mirror halo. Now you should feel some sort of tingling there. We build a mirror halo. So we imagine a halo ring around the head, about 12 inches out, and this one is made of that polished obsidian. Okay, so it's a foot all the way around as a halo, and I'm going to just go around in circles for a second. Now, it's mirror like this on the outside, but on the inside of this, it is a warm golden light towards your physical body. And we say, my mind is clear, my perception is protected. No thought form may enter unless it is true. So this is the key, because most attacks try to enter as thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I should soften, this person's got the wrong idea, I've known this person for ages, how could they think this, etc. This halo, okay, protects that and blocks that. Okay? Then we form the mirror sphere. So now we're going to expand the halo downward into a full sphere around your body. So the inside of all of this is this nourishing golden light, and the outside is mirror, reflective mirror, right? And we say, my field is mirrored, I do not absorb projections, all distortion returns to its source, neutral, cleansed, complete. So comments, opinions, hooks, and should energy hit the outside and slide off of this like rain. Now we're going to add the truth gate to this. So let's imagine one doorway at the front of your sphere, like a simple gate, okay? You control it. So you say, only respect enters, only alignment speaks, only truth has audience. This is how you stop access entitlements. Okay? And this is a next part of this is mirror return and lesson blessing. So this is an upgrade, and it keeps it clean. It's not vengeful. Okay? We're not evil people. Okay? So we say, I return what's not mine with blessing. May all misdirected energy return as insight. No harm, no bond, no door. That line of no harm, no bond, no door is a closer, and it seals the whole practice. You can write that down. No harm, no bond, no door. And we're going to lock this. So we put our hand on our chest again. We say, my original blueprint is the only template running here. I stay in my signal. I stay in my throne. And, okay, just let it all out. So, mirror on the outside, gold on the inside, truth at the gates. And this is awesome. So let's seal this into the body a little bit, because the goal isn't just to understand this manipulation, it's also to become unavailable to it. And every time you do that, you get stronger and stronger and stronger, and it becomes laughable to you. Okay? It's not something that you go, oh my God. It's just like, oh, okay. And so as you step into the original flame blueprint, you will begin to notice something. So the world around you doesn't just respond to your light, it responds to those boundaries. Some people celebrate your clarity. Oh God, thank God you're doing this. Oh, this is exciting, right? And some people will try to negotiate it. They'll say, oh, this is just too much. It's just too intense. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening? It's harsh. It's stern, right? You're turning people away. But Your blueprint was never designed to be palatable. It's designed to be precise, okay? Precision requires protection. So we do this final shield, and anytime something feels off, anytime the energy just feels very weird to you, or someone's doing their nonsense, or you see a crazy post online or something, or someone's trying to hook into your field, okay? And this happens when they have no permission. So no permission, but they're going to say something to you to put you into fear. And so what we're doing right now is the mirror crown shield, which we did a little bit of before. So we're sealing the crown gate, and our channel belongs to us as a soul, right? And we get that soft gold seal above our crown like a beautiful disc, and we take a breath in. We continue to create that obsidian halo around the top of us, and then bring it down around your body, okay? Sealing yourself in this energy, right? And we're understanding that our mind is clear, our perception is protected. No thought form can enter into this space unless we let it, or unless it's true, okay? So, as I said, you know, most distortion doesn't enter as an attack. It enters as a thought that's not yours, like doubt or guilt or pressure or second guessing yourself, right? And allowing this, again, smooth mirrored sphere to be around you. This is a little bit of a deeper mirror technique. So your field is mirrored, you're not absorbing projections, and all distortions returns to source. It's neutral, it's cleansed, it's complete. Right. And that's not, this is just a reminder for you, right? That you don't have to argue with distorted beliefs, feelings, situations. That you can't try to prove to someone that what they're saying is you know, outlandish or whatever, because they're not going to believe you, okay? You don't have to soften your field to feel better about your reaction either. And you don't have to shrink to be safe. Sometimes it just takes a sealing of the field, a holding of the truth, and a walking forward in your original blueprint. Comfort's not always a comfort. Truth is. Comfort is not always a compass, but truth is, right? As I said to you, the stronger your signal is, the more people are going to try to wipe that out. But also, the stronger your signal is, the more on the path you are. And the more people on that same path will actually recognize that, understand that, and begin to change their own life as well. And the flame and the original blueprint works like it just spreads like wildfire into areas of your life and into your past and into all aspects of yourselves and dimensional aspects as well of yourself. You're all going through this moment. Your future self is congratulating you for finally standing up for who you really are. And it doesn't mean confronting people or being aggro unnecessarily, you know, and even fighting your position is a waste of your energy. Either people resonate and understand and heal and restore, or they don't. And we can't control what other people are feeling, what they're saying, how it comes across. That's not your job either. Just remember the different areas of control that people try to pull you off of your track, to pull you away from your original blueprint and get you somewhere malleable and easy for them to control. I hope that these videos, my intention behind them is literally to help humanity stand into their own power, into their full sovereignty. And all the fear tactics of the old ways and the way that things are manipulated, I hope now that that check engine light will come on in your being and help you to regulate what's going on. Again, my intention is never to say to you, hey, once you do this, everything's going to be perfect, because that's not reality. Reality is that we have to learn to regulate the things that come up and still be able to refocus, recenter, and not fall into anxiety or depression or fear or any of those negative emotions. Our body's not designed for those negative emotions. And when we start having too many of them, that's where the energy in your body and in your organs starts to deplete itself. This is when we start having problems. So if any of this has helped you, just drop a flame in the comments, or maybe give one. That would be nice. And I hope that you will try the flame foundation, just so you can understand. It's quite thorough, you know. And from there will be other larger courses that will start to happen, where there'll be all kinds of activations for you and things for you to remember, because that's what it's all about. You are remembering your original blueprints. This is extremely important. So thanks for sitting with me today. I hope that this has helped you, of course, obviously. And until the next time, much love and bye for now.